There is a pulse that runs through all things, a vibration, a shimmer beneath the surface of reality. Magicians, witches, shamans, mystics, whatever label we use, we've all felt it at some point. In ritual, in trance, in meditation, in nature, or even in moments of deep emotion, that pulse reveals itself. It's subtle at first, but once you feel it, you know it's real. It has been called spirit, prana, chi, odic force, mana, numen. The names change, but the experience doesn't. It is the living current, the flow of life and consciousness that connects everything to everything else. I'll be starting a new series next month to replace the Toltec Concept series, and we will be exploring that current, not as a metaphor, not as a poetic idea, but as an experience, as a force that magicians can perceive, direct, and work with. We're going to talk about how it moves, how it manifests, and how it can be cultivated. We'll look at it through different lenses: energy work, spirit communication, animism, psychology, even physics, but always with one purpose: to deepen our understanding of magic as the art of aligning with and directing the living current. If you're enjoying the content and want to help me keep creating more videos like this, consider joining my Patreon. Your support there makes a real difference. It helps keep the channel going and gives you access to extra content and behind the scenes stuff. You'll find the link in the description, and thanks for being part of this journey. If you strip away culture and dogma, you find that nearly every spiritual tradition speaks of an underlying flow of energy. The Taoists speak of qi as the breath of life that moves through heaven, earth, and humanity. The Hindus speak of prana, carried through the nadis and awakened in the chakras. The Hermeticists speak of the anima mundi, the soul of the world. Even in modern witchcraft, we talk about raising energy or directing power, and although the language has changed, the core idea hasn't. Magic, at its heart, is about relationship. It's not about commanding the universe, it's about learning to move with it, to listen to the rhythm, to feel the tide, to act in harmony with the flow of power rather than against it. The living current is the medium of that relationship. It is the bridge between consciousness and manifestation, between the inner world and the outer world. When we cast a spell, perform a ritual, or enter a trance, we're not making magic happen. We're entering the current. We're shaping it, giving it direction and form, just as a musician shapes sound into melody. For a long time, the idea of energy in magic was seen as purely symbolic, something that couldn't be measured or verified. But science has caught up in interesting ways. Quantum physics, neuroscience, and systems theory all hint at a reality that is fluid, interconnected, and shaped by information and intention. Now, I'm not saying that neuroscience proves magic, but it does show that consciousness and energy are intimately tied. Every thought we have changes the wiring of our brain through neuroplasticity, as we spoke about a couple of weeks back. Every emotional state has measurable effects on the electromagnetic field of the body. Every act of focused intent shifts not only our perception, but how we interact with the world. In magical terms, that means that when we raise energy, when we visualize, when we charge a sigil or speak an incantation, we are literally repatterning the fields of mind and matter. The living current is both the medium and the message. It's the way the universe speaks to itself through us. The current isn't static, it's movement, vibration, exchange. It rises and falls, expands and contracts. It's in the breath, in the heartbeat, in the movement of the planets, in the turning of the seasons. The magician learns to sense these tides and to work in rhythm with them. When we talk about flow, we're talking about this state of alignment. You felt it before, when everything clicks, when the right words come without effort, when intuition takes over and everything moves naturally. In that state, we're not pushing against the world, we're moving with it. That's flow. That's magic in motion. The problem most people have is resistance. We cling to rigid thoughts, fears, and expectations. We tighten up, and the current can't move freely through us. The work of the magician through meditation, trance, ritual, and practice is to open those channels, to clear blockages, dissolve resistance, to become a vessel for that power. The living current doesn't just flow through the cosmos, it flows through us. Every nerve, every breath, every flicker of thought is an expression of that energy. The personal current, the energy body, is a microcosm of the greater whole. When you ground yourself, when you center your awareness, when you feel energy rising from the earth or descending from the heavens, you're aligning your microcosmic flow with the macrocosmic tide. That's why so many systems, from Qigong to Hermetic ritual, emphasize purification, alignment, and balance. Because when your inner flow is tangled or stagnant, your magic becomes sluggish. When it's open and balanced, your magic becomes alive. And this isn't just about spells, it's about living as a being in relationship with the world. The witch walking barefoot on the ground, the magician sitting in meditation, the artist in creative rapture. All are expressions of the same current, flowing through different forms. Energy is raw substance, but spirits give it shape. The spirits, gods, ancestors, and demons we work with are not outside the current, they are the current, given voice and personality. They are currents within the greater flow. When we call on them, we're not summoning something alien, we're tuning ourselves to their frequency. Invocation, evocation, prayer, and offering are acts of resonance. We vibrate in harmony with that aspect of the living current, and through that resonance, transformation occurs. The more we understand this, the less magic becomes about control, and the more it becomes about collaboration. We're not commanding spirits. We're entering into a relationship with living intelligences that share the same current as we do. To work with the living current is to become a conduit, a channel through which energy, consciousness, and will can move. That requires presence, awareness, and discipline. You have to learn your own instrument before you can play the cosmic symphony. That's why foundational training, meditation, breathwork, energy cultivation, visualization is so vital. These aren't just beginner practices, they are how we tune ourselves. The better you know your own current, the more effectively you can move energy in ritual, in healing, in spell work, or in daily life. But here's the key. The current doesn't belong to anyone. It's not a tool, not something you own or use. It's a living force that we participate in. The magician's art is about becoming conscious of that participation, about taking responsibility for the patterns we create in the flow. When you begin to sense the current in daily life, the world changes. You start to notice synchronicities, emotional undercurrents, energetic exchanges between people and places. You realize that magic isn't something you do on special occasions, it's something you're always immersed in. A conversation, a song, a meal, a dream, all of these become part of the same dance of energy. You begin to live with magic, not separate from it. And that's where the real transformation begins. The living current is not only the key to magical power, it's the key to conscious living. When you learn to move with it, you stop fighting life and start co-creating with it. You become part of the river, not a stone blocking the way. Over the coming months, we'll explore this living current in depth, what it is, how to feel it, how to work with it, and how it manifests through spirit, nature, and human consciousness. We'll talk about energy bodies, subtle anatomy, raising and directing power, working with natural forces, and how emotion and thought shape the flow. This series isn't about dogma, it's about experience. I'll be sharing techniques, insights, and perspectives that you can test for yourself. Because ultimately, magic isn't about belief, it's about practice. If you've ever wanted to understand what's really happening when you cast a circle, or charge a sigil, or commune with spirits, this series will give you the framework. The living current is the hidden thread running through it all. Magic isn't a mystery because it's hidden. It's a mystery because it's alive. The current is the life of that mystery. It's what moves through our breath, our will, our dreams, and our spells. When we work with it consciously, we awaken to our true nature as beings of power, awareness, and participation in a living, intelligent universe. The living current is already flowing. All you have to do is open, listen, and step into the stream. And that's the introduction to the Living Current series. I hope you are looking forward to it. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you next time. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.